While the Bible is primarily a religious text, it contains some interesting parallels between certain passages and scientific concepts. God's word is truly amazing. The Bible is thousands of years old, but God revealed things that we have only discovered recent times. There is so much in the Bible, but in this video, we will take a look at the 7 scientific facts you never knew were in the Bible. Number 1, Shape of the Earth. Isaiah 40 verse 22 says, "He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and its people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens like a canopy, and spreads them out like a tent to live in." Now, let's explain the scientific significance within these lines. Centuries ago, when many believed the earth was flat, the Bible used the word circle to describe it. This simple term actually matches up with the scientific fact that our planet is not flat but a three-dimensional sphere. It's a cool scientific fact hidden in the timeless wisdom of the Bible. Number 2, Water cycle. In Ecclesiastes 1 verse 7, it says, "All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. To the place from which the rivers come, there they return again." This verse talks about the water cycle, describing how water moves through evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. It surprisingly matches up with what science tells us today. When water evaporates from rivers, lakes, and oceans, it goes up into the sky and forms clouds. When these clouds get heavy, they release the water back to earth as precipitation. The Bible verse beautifully captures this process of evaporation and precipitation. The Bible acknowledging this cycle shows the deep interconnection between nature and life. Number 3, Number of stars. Jeremiah 33 verse 22 says, "As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, nor the sand of the sea measured." In this chapter the Bible compares the number of stars in the sky to the grains of sand on the seashore, an analogy that, interestingly, reflects the vastness of the universe. Today, we now know that the observable universe indeed contains an astronomical number of stars. So numerous that they are challenging to quantify. Astronomers estimate that there are around 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, each containing billions or even trillions of stars. It's pretty amazing how the Bible's metaphor matches up with our modern understanding of just how huge the universe is. Number 4, Pleasure in moderation. Proverbs 25 verse 16, says, "If you find honey, eat just enough, too much of it, and you will vomit." Now, this might sound like straightforward advice, but there's a deeper scientific connection that's really interesting. Today, we have scientific research supporting the idea that moderation is key to a healthy lifestyle. Whether it's food, entertainment, or even work, finding balance is crucial for our overall well-being. When we experience pleasure, our brains release a neurotransmitter called dopamine. It's like our brain's way of saying, "Hey, that felt good." However, too much of a good thing can lead to desensitization, and our brains may not respond as strongly to the pleasure over time. Number 5, Atomic theory. In Hebrews 11 verse 3, it says, "By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible." Let's break down what these words are getting at. Nowadays, we've got this idea called the atomic theory, saying everything is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Surprisingly, Hebrews 11 verse 3 kinda lines up with this by recognizing that the stuff we see is made from things we can't see. Knowing about atoms has a big impact on how we understand chemistry, physics, and basically how everything exists. Number 6, First law of thermodynamics. Hebrews 1 verse 3, says, "The sun is the radiance of God's glory and the exact representation of his being, sustaining all things by his powerful word." Now, let's dissect this verse and unlock its scientific significance. In the realm of thermodynamics, these echo the first law, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. The idea that energy is conserved aligns with the concept of divine sustenance, prompting reflection on the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual realms. The divine sustenance described in the Bible and the principles of thermodynamics complement each other, emphasizing a shared narrative of conservation and balance. Number 7, ants as a model for industriousness. Proverbs 6 verses 6 to 8 says, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest." Now, let's reveal the scientific wisdom hidden in these verses. Ants, those tiny creatures bustling around our backyards, serve as an exceptional model for industriousness. Proverbs draws our attention to the ant's self-driven work ethic and efficient resource management. Modern science reveals the intricate social structure within ant colonies. Despite lacking a central authority, ants work collaboratively, each contributing to the well-being of the colony. This aligns with the biblical notion that ants operate without a commander or overseer. Learning from their example, we're encouraged to be proactive, collaborate effectively, and adopt a forward-thinking approach to our endeavors.